Kate Middleton shares the same star sign as the late Queen Elizabeth, and an astrologer has said this is why the new Princess of Wales was stoic during the funeral, because she was focusing on the task in hand. For Queen Elizabeth's funeral, the royal women were seen walking together and being transported in cars to and from the venues. There's one photograph of Queen Consort Camilla, the Princess of Wales and her two children, and Sophie, Countess of Wessex alongside the Duchess of Sussex that captured each individual's feelings and emotions that day. Express.co.uk spoke exclusively to Inbal Honigman, body language expert and astrologer, about the royals' dynamic in that moment. Inbal said, during the Queen's funeral on the 19th of September, Kate appeared more in control than the other royal ladies around her. Sophie and Meghan were seen shedding tears, and Camilla was visibly sad, with her mouth turned downwards. Everyone grieves in their own way. Kate's body language isn't joyful or calm, it is collected and controlled, which is just the way she responds to stressful situations. Where most of the other ladies gaze downwards, which is natural at times of grief, Kate is there in her mum role, as well as grieving relative. She can't afford herself the luxury of completely turning inwards and giving herself over to her emotions, she's got 2 kids to manage. The expert added. Capricorn, just like other earth signs Virgo and Taurus, feel safest when they are doing something. They feel all the feelings, just like everyone else, but they prefer to grieve in private. Showing emotions doesn't come naturally to them. The Queen herself was an earth sign. And a very typical Taurus, practical and traditional. During Prince Philip's funeral last year, the Queen sat alone, looking ahead. Just like Kate, her grief was not for public display, Inbal suggested. In contrast, Meghan's tears were visible on her cheek. Her eyes gazing downwards and to the left, her face clearly shows her sadness. Meghan is a proud Leo, and they don't love to share unhappy emotions, but her ascendant is Cancer, which is a very emotionally open sign, and can't help but express what they feel. Camilla isn't even trying to hide her upset. With her head tilting slightly forward in a show of grief, and her shoulders dropped, indicating that she's feeling despondent, Camilla's face demonstrates her sadness. Her mouth is lightly open and lowered, as she comes to terms with the events of the previous few days. Camilla is a Cancerian. A double Cancer at that. She shares her feeling openly and doesn't try to pretend, the astrologer continued. Sophie Wessex stabs at her eyes throughout the funeral. Her lips are tense, which means she's stressed, perhaps trying not to cry. Her shoulders are narrow and leaning slightly forward, as if she's trying to make herself smaller, which is a sign of unease and distress. Sophie is an Aquarian, and Aquarians tend to ponder. She's lost in her thoughts, perhaps trying to contain her grief, Inbal said.